Let's bring in my panel for tonight. Joining me now for their take on big international stories, and they're everywhere. Sky News contributor Kosha Garda from the States and former Labor MP Michael Danby. Well, welcome to you both. We'll start with the tensions in the Middle East. Israel is urging the Australian government to designate Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps as a terror group following the strike on Israel by Tehran. Now, surely this is a no-brainer, Michael. It was crazy that it was recently rejected by the Albanese government. On what grounds would they not list this mob?
Well, the Bedwetters in the Department of Foreign Affairs don't want to upset people in Iran, but there's a wider issue now. The Iranians have shown their hand. It was recommended by a parliamentary committee. They were just about to do it, and strangely, when the two security chiefs were taken off cabinet, that recommendation was pulled. You have to ask why. Look, you've made the point earlier, Peter, that eventually real politics in foreign affairs catches up with all of these people playing student politics. And Penny, Wong and Albo have to read the papers more. They're not hearing the truth from DFAT.
You're not wrong. Kosha, what do you make of a whole lot of Western countries, urging Israel now to have restraint after there's been 350-odd missiles launched at their country? President Biden, I'm interested in your take on where the US stands here, because they're the ones urging the Israelis just to put up and shut up.
Yes, I think there's three dynamics at play with this broader Western tendency right now to urge restraint, as you say, and particularly in the US. One is there really is this demographic shift that has happened over the past 30, 40 years, where the biggest stalwarts of the pro-Israel support are the aging baby boomers. And as they are more and more, aging out of the electorate and the leaders that represent them, you are actually seeing this tectonic plate shift, or this generational plate shift, I think, that undergirds the whole thing. The second is the consequences of immigration. And there's a lot of people that have been imported into these countries and formed the part of the electorate, especially for the left-leaning governments in place here in the US and Michigan, for example, that keeps coming up, that Biden and his policies are speaking to that faction in his voter base that is more Muslim and not that supportive of Israel. And so he's trying to speak to both audiences. And then I think the third is just a weaker leadership, where we know that, for example, it's sort of affecting policy by payoff, where the Biden administration gave $6 billion to Iran in that hostage negotiation not too long ago. And then, of course, previously under the Obama administration, there was that, when Biden was, of course, vice president, there was that $1.4 billion with that infamous plane load of cash, which was about $500 million of that went out there. So I think all of those things funding the other side of the war, these demographic shifts and more, is why we're seeing this stance right now taken by Western governments.